I'm going to start my debate in 3, 2, 1. Dear judges, the opposition side is going to tell you a very beautiful story today. They want you to believe that if we just give every single villager a piece of paper saying they own a small plot of land and send them to modern schools, push them into big cities and find jobs, they will become rich and happy. But us here as the government side, we live in a real world where we believe that fast progress is a polite word for outside companies to come in, buying up the land for cheap and leaving poor individuals absolutely nothing. Let's start with how this looks on the ground in Aruna. Rumada system is not just a set of random rules, it is the core, the entire social economic infrastructure of the current people, right? And by preserving cultural tradition, this means that legally protecting collective ownership. There's no single person has a piece of paper that says, this plot is mine and the land belongs to the clan. And we believe that opposition will bring this social progress. Here in 2026, it actually means commercializing the island, converting ancestral forests into corporate palm oil plantations, mining sites, tourist resorts under the disguise of urban employment. So here I'm going to give the model. The national government of Aruna will pass the Kairan Ancestral Autonomy Act with this 3 acts. The first one is legal shielding, that means block any national land registration laws from applying to Kairan territory. Second is institutional recognition, that means elder council given formal legal standing within the provincial government. Their decisions on internal village matters are final and cannot be overturned by external urban courts. And the third one is financial underwriting. That means state will fully fund the infrastructure of the 1-year cultural apprenticeship. We are not building a wall, whether it's digitally or physically around Aruna. We are not banning internet access. We are not banning the smartphones. We are not banning the electricity, and we are not banning the model healthcare. And we're not forbidding the young villagers to leave the village. They are free to go to the university in the capital city or take a corporate job. They simply must do so after they turn 19, right? Once they have completed their mandatory 1 year of cultural apprenticeship, they must do so within the structured approval of their elders. But before I start with my argument, I'm going to preempt and dismantle the argument that the opposition will give. The opposition will talk about the human right. Well, they will say that what if there's like this young woman of the land where she wants to sell her whole land and go out to the city and looks for the job there. It's their individual right. Like the elders cannot say anything about them. That's a freedom. It is beautiful if you want to write a novel or fairy tale, but here this is a reality. So it's very, very false in reality. When you give freedom to sell a piece of collective ancestral land, it is giving the freedom to permanently destroy the economy of the generations, like future generations of family. The moment you commercialize that land and let one desperate individual to sell the land to irresponsible parties for quick cash, that land is gone forever. So the future of generations are left with absolutely nothing. So the opposition here proposing the permanent and generational negative impact. And we believe true freedom is the freedom of a community to exist and survive. So let's go to the main argument that I'm going to propose, which is the integrated system of survival. Let's look at the actual incentive or of outside actors. Aruna, we all know that Aruna is an island province. So outside developers see traditional Kairan land not as sacred cultural space, instead an opportunity to escalate their game on corporate tourism and business. If the land is divided into individual plots, corporations don't offer fair and multi-million dollars deals to every villagers, right? They look for the weak links. They target the individuals who has accumulated farming debts. They offer a cash payout that looks massive to a poor villager, but is actually pennies compared to the true value of the land. Or commercial banks offer easy loans using the land paper as a guarantee. So the moment there is a bad farming land or the debt is going greater or bigger, and the villager cannot pay the bank back, the bank takes the land away. So our side is better because the land belongs to the whole community. A bank or a company cannot trick one poor individual. If someone wants to use the land, they must talk to the elder council. And the elders, we all know, that are not desperate for quick cash. They're thinking about the next 50 years. So it can help us to not making this happen in the future. So now let's connect this to the youth and their 1-year cultural apprenticeship. So the opposition thinks that this 1-year apprenticeship is like a prison that delays their life. They think that starting college at age 19 instead of 18 is a disaster. But if we rush up progress, the land gets sold off and the village economy breaks down. So when these young people arrive in the big city with zero cultural grounding, they face heavy discrimination because city people look down to them. Because city schools do not care about their culture, these youth feel isolated, they feel lost. Without a strong sense of who they are, without any land to go back to, they get stuck in this low-paid, dangerous city jobs. And how our system saves them: the 1-year cultural apprenticeship teach them traditional to be proud, dispute resolution, history, and crafts. This gives them an invisible shield where they learn to be proud of who they are. So when they go to the city at age 19, they cannot be easily bullied by the rich city elites. Most importantly, because we protect the clan land, they have a safety net. The city job markets, we all know that change all the time, like inflation and stuff like that. If a Karen youth loses their city job, they won't be homeless in a city slum. They can eventually go back to the Karen Islands that actually owns the land and can feed them. Finally, let's look at the speed of change. The opposition wants everything to change tomorrow, like instantly. But when you throw all these massive changes at a traditional village overnight, siblings sue each other over the land borders, people will stop respecting the elders. There's the community internal fight. And who wins when the village is fighting itself? The outside corporate buyer. So while the village are busy arguing about who inherits that, the big company take control. And by slowing the progress, we are keeping the village peaceful. So in conclusion, we are having to face these two choices. The first choice is, in the opposition side, you get a fast change that makes a few lucky people rich, while the rest of the community loses their land, loses their identity, and they give the individuals the freedom, as I said, to fail alone. When our side, the government side, we give them an interconnected system of safety. The land protects the economy protects the land. So we, as a government side, choose the long-term survival over the short-term speed. Therefore, we are strongly proud to propose. Thank you.